We started the year with bringing the poet David Whyte forward, and our entire community was able to experience David Whyte and his thoughts on the development and the readiness, not only an institution needs, but an individual needs. And out of that, we pulled a phrase that we think helps us define our work through this strategic plan, but also maybe what's ahead of each of us as we look to develop into individuals that are ready for what's ahead of us.
Well, starting with robust vulnerability as our theme, I think it gives everyone in the organization, myself included as a leader in it, permission actually to step into being as human as we dare to be in our professional environment.
We're all vulnerable. We just are. Admitting that to ourselves and to other people immediately creates a sort of authenticity in the room. And you know, it creates a kind of strength in you, actually. And I think for a community to grow, or for anybody to grow really, the first step is to say, I don't know something, right? And to sort of touch that edge that is so tender, because it's only then that you can grow through it.
When our community got together for the first time in its entirety, everyone gathered on August 20th. And David, we were so fortunate to have David Whyte speak to us for 3 hours in the morning.
Vulnerability is the underlying, ever-present and abiding undercurrent of our natural state.
First of all, he is this very relatable person. So his personality really shined through, and he had this wonderful humility about him that I think really helped us to connect to the work that he did and the messages that he was conveying to our community.
To run from vulnerability is to run from the essence of our nature.
Well, I'm already finding that the theme has really opened faculty in particular up to having some really refreshing, open, honest conversations about where we want to go and what might be holding us back and how to work through any obstacles and challenges that we have in moving forward in our educational programming and looking at students as producers, for example. What does that mean? How do we live that out? What does bringing a student's voice into the curriculum more fully actually look like on a day-to-day basis?
Just knowing that that's the ground that we're standing on right now, that that's expected of us, that's a pretty big deal, that the leader of the school actually expects that that's part of the interactions between people. That gives me a lot of hope that real conversation can actually happen, and that real collaboration and a kind of deepening of the experience of planning for school and talking about teaching and learning, talking about students, talking about our craft. In my opinion, everything needs deepening, and you can't deepen unless you sort of touch on the vulnerability and then go deeper.
It became clear to us that robust vulnerability was not just something for us leaders, but really for all the adults in the community and all the students, children, teenagers, in terms of bringing them and looking for ways to help them embody what does it mean to be robustly vulnerable.
My big question in school for all the years that I've been working in schools has been how do you nurture the soul of a child? And so for the whole school to do that, for the leadership to do that work and to even begin a conversation about deepening the work so that the soul is included in the work, I think brought me a lot of comfort.
No one is perfect. We all have areas of weakness. And I think with this theme, it's really let students lean into that in a very comfortable and confident way and to own their vulnerability and know it's okay. And I'm gonna grow from this.
So looking forward with this idea of the unknown, what we hope to embody in our students and in our community is that not exactly knowing what's ahead of you, it's okay. It's kind of the cycle of life. It's how we develop and we move forward. But if we are going to move into the unknown, what might we need to be? What type of robustness do we need to develop in our institution and in our students that allows us to live into that sense of vulnerability?
How do we now continue forward in bringing this to the surface continually over time? Leadership, robust vulnerability, stepping into this territory of taking risks, of holding conversations, of never giving up.
So this theme this year has really framed a future look for us and a way of going forward with a sense of how might we ready our students for that future that is a bit unknown.